Hello and welcome to my very first video tutorial ever. Forgive me if there's mumbling or stutterings or I don't really know what I'm doing, but I will try and give you a comprehensive video. Ice Dragon Art on the Dad's forums asked me how to make, how I do my shadows outside of the rendering engine and in post work. So here we have a girl that I've rendered out just as a ping image. You can tell there's no drop shadow or any ground at all. And we're just going to drag her on a white background because I think this will be the easiest way to show shadows. Now there are two ways to do this, and I'll try and show both ways because I think one works easier in GIMP and one is just the way I learned, and that's the way I do it. So the first thing I normally do is I go to this FX button after I have my subject on my background and I click drop shadow. In this screen you can see if she were standing up against a wall and that's where we were doing our shadows, we could bring the distance out. We can change the direction of the light. So if we want the light from this way or that way. Depending on how hard or soft your light is, a harder light will leave you very definite lines. Let me pull that out a little longer. Very hard, definite lines, and a softer light will give you a softer shadow like this. So if she were standing against the wall, this is the way she would look. And we click OK. But what if we want our shadows down across the ground? If we want our shadows across the ground, we would mouse over Effects. We will right click. We want to go to Create Layer and click OK. And now you can see I have Layer 1's drop shadow on its own layer here. Now in Photoshop, we do Control T, which is free transform. I've learned on shortcuts, so I actually have no idea where it is up there. And we're going to go right click and do flip vertical. And now our shadow is down here along the ground. Let me pull her up a little bit. Oops. Control T. Flip vertical, bring it down here, hit enter, and now I can get on the right layer and I can bring the girl up a little bit. Okay. Now depending on where our light's coming from, it's going to depend where this girl goes. So say our light is coming from this right corner and coming across. We're going to go Control T and we're going to do distort. And if it were noon, light directly overhead, her shadow would be very short and directly under here. But if it's evening, her shadow might be very long and directly in front of her like this. You can adjust the feet. You know, shorter shadows, longer shadows, just depending on where your light is, how harsh or how soft it is. We're going to click enter here. On this, using this method, since we've already softened the shadow, all we have to do is fade it out and touch up behind it a little bit where it didn't, obviously there wouldn't be a shadow here behind her boot. And then that one's basically done. You fade it, these aren't magic numbers, you fade it to however, again, your lighting tells you, like if the shadows are darker or lighter, your own taste in art. Now I'll show you the way that might be easier for some. Especially maybe GIMP users, because I don't use GIMP. We're going to do a copy of our layer. Control J is a shortcut, or you can grab your layer and drag it to this spot right here and turn this top layer off, and we're going to go here to layer 1. We're going to click the layer adjustment layers, I think it's the technical term. You can do Control L on this also for the shortcut key, and we're going to click levels. When the level menu comes up, we're going to grab the black arrow key in this box and bring it all the way over. And now you see we have an exact copy of our little girl that is completely filled in with dark. We're going to flatten this. Control E is the shortcut key so that the layers level and the layer 1 are merged together and into one layer. Turn this one back on and you can see there's our little girl's shadow. Okay, we don't have the softness that we did with the drop shadow where we could use the spread to make this a softer shadow. So we're going to go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And again, no magic number, it just depends on how hard or soft your lighting is. We'll go here somewhere in the middle and we click OK. Now our shadow's softer and the rest of it's the same. So Control T, which is free transform, flip vertically, bring it down, right click again, go to distort, and move your shadow to where it looks good. Fade it out to match your subject. Clean up anything here if you need to. And that's it. You've dropped your shadow. If you're actually on ground or pavement, a lot of times I will ground my shadows. This is if you're using a photograph and putting your render character on a photographic background. I do something that is called grounding, which is where you make your figure look like they're actually standing in the background and attached, which is some other shadow effects. And I also would do rim lighting and lighting to maybe help my character match the lighting in my photograph also. Any videos you guys want to learn that, let me know. Leave some comments below or on the forums. I think my art forum is Old Dog New Tricks. You can leave a comment there and let me know, and we can try some new videos if this works out for everybody. Thanks for watching.